lets us know we're live. I
We're
like
live.
the
That's right. There we go.
Hey, are you ready for tonight? I'm ready for tonight. Michelle's going to be with us tonight. I love that lady.
She's
She's
beautiful
going to be,
inside and
she's
out.
going to read tonight, which is going to be real cool. So I'm glad that she's going to be with us. And we're going to start like we usually do. I miss
Okay.
that box, that other box that usually has Ruth's face in
Oh
it.
no, it's not the same without the other bronze girl.
I know. I know. I miss her tonight. We'll have to let our listeners know what's going on with
I'm
Miss
glad she's
Miss
okay though.
Ruth. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely. You got your weekend review ready?
I think so.
All right. It's
What about
nice,
you?
it's nice to see you in the library, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm back in the library. I'm back in the books.
I, mi- I miss the books.
Oh, I got the books now.
Okay.
Vinaya found it.
She did. Was that because of the move?
Well,
You
yeah,
think it
yeah.
just kind of found its way to another?
Almost a year later, I found it.
Has it been that long? Has it been
Yes,
that long
yes,
since we had the books?
yes.
Time. What is up with time? Man, it's going by so fast.
Almost a year
All
since I
right,
moved.
everybody.
All
What?
It
right.
is that
You
time.
got us ready, Alan?
Of course, I've got you ready.
Well, you just go ahead and roll it.
Roll 'em.
All right, you guys have a good one. I'll be here in the background.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Authors Up right here on ALH Broadcasting. Well, Queen Victoria, how are you this evening?
Clean is fine.
Well, that's good. When we see the crown, we know everything is intact.
This round is for you. Good evening, everybody, and
Oh,
welcome to the show.
we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna.
Yes, we is.
Francina, good evening. Glad to have you with us tonight. Glad to have you. And we have a special guest tonight. We're missing our third party, our third musketeer.
Yes,
Yes, Miss Ruth. Miss Ruth had a little health challenge today, and so we're lifting her up in prayer. And
definitely.
anybody who wants to pray, we just want you to pray
Please
for
do.
her strength. I don't want to say too much because Ruth is kind of quiet, but just know that we're praying for Our Lady. We miss her. We miss you, Ruth. If you go back and see this replay, we miss you. And
No, we miss
we'll let
you.
you tell
Def-
your own story when you're back. And I'm going to say next week because we are really, really praying that you're going to feel
yes,
so much better.
we love
And
you and
you're
we
going to be
miss
back
you.
with us next week. Hey there, Angie. Oh, South Carolina. Glad to have you in the house tonight. And Alan, if we have anybody from any of our other locations, please let us know so that we can formally welcome them
Yes,
to
welcome,
Office Up. We
welcome,
like to do
welcome.
that every time we get a chance. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to start with our weekend review.
All
And
right.
Queen, why don't you start?
All right, sure. Let's see. Last week was getting back to work after being off of the holiday break was hard. It was hard
Very
to
simple, huh?
it's hard to get back in the groove since off for 2 weeks, and much of that 2 weeks I wasn't feeling that great, like I told you last week, and it was a little hard to get back to work, but and it was a lot of work to do. So, but I managed to do it in between doctor's appointments and getting my knee straightened with the arthritis. But everything is calm. Everything is calm now. So
It's cool.
just grateful. I'm just grateful to be here. And I want to say happy birthday. Somebody who I won't say. Thank you, Francina. Thank you. Somebody has a birthday tomorrow, I believe. So that's the reason for my happy birthday crown.
Does it actually say happy birthday? Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes.
It really does.
Please, happy birthday. So this crown is for you, which really, if you had it, you could wear it. But it's for you. Happy birthday. We love you.
Oh,
And I hope
thank
you
you
have
so
the bestest
much.
birthday ever.
Thank you so
No,
much.
no bubbles this year.
No, 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 no. No surprise party this year.
No surprise. But
We
I
almost
did have to
did
get
ourselves in last year.
So I'm just gonna say, woohoo, woohoo, happy birthday to you. And tell everybody out there, please, send up some hearts and love and say prayers and Thanksgiving for your birthday tomorrow, right? It's tomorrow.
Yep, it's
Yep.
tomorrow.
All right. So happy
It's
birthday to you. I
tomorrow.
love
Thank
you. I love
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
I
you
am
have
so
blessed my life immensely, and I pray blessings on
Aw.
you.
well, I am looking forward to another birthday. I'm grateful to be able to see another year.
Praise God.
I'm praying I'm going to wake up in the morning feeling
You are.
really
It is
good.
well. It is well.
But I do thank you. Thank you for well wishes, and I appreciate you. You know I do.
All right.
So I am glad. I'm glad I got a birthday coming tomorrow.
Amen. I celebrate you. This is to celebrate.
Well, my week, I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't know what went on. It's a blur. I did a lot of writing stuff last week. We never
Good.
did. I think you finished your writing challenge. Did you not? Did you get to the end of it, or you
It's
still
just
have a?
about. It's just about. I have a couple of things to add on, but I
Okay.
did a good bulk of it. Let's put it that way.
Awesome. Okay. Okay. I finished. I totally finished.
Good.
My small book. I was doing two, and I had already finished the one from Victory, a collection of Victory verses column, and I did one called Masters of the Mask,
Okay.
and it's actually a book about how we hide,
Hmm.
that we just we talk about the hats we wear and the roles we play, and
Yes.
sometimes we put on a mask, and
Right.
it's not a bad thing unless you lose yourself behind it.
Right.
Sometimes that's what happens. So I go through some things in there, my perspective only. Not trying to be a deep wonder. I have no degrees in anything except life itself. So that's what it's all about, and I have finished it and actually gave it to somebody to read. So I'm going to start some beta reading on it
Okay.
and
Good.
get that going. Today, I feel like I've been in somebody's ministry all day.
Yeah. Okay.
I spoke, I did poetry for a service this morning at 7 a.m. Then I went to my church from 9 until 10. Then I came home and got ready to go to an ordination service for friends of mine
Wow.
who were starting a church. And that was at 3. And voila!
Wow. You've been a busy
Yeah.
lady, birthday
With
girl.
my Authors Up family. So I might have to keep pinching myself, saying, "Girl, wake up and stay up. What in the world? What in the world?"
We're glad you didn't cancel us for your other activities.
No. Thank you, Angie. Thank you. Well, let's go ahead and
Yes.
put some bio information out here to
All
our
right.
listeners so they know who we're going to be interviewing and who we're going to be talking about tonight.
All right. We have co-authors with us. Well, one of them is with us. And I will be reading the bio for one of them, Joy Vander Tuen. After a grand mal seizure in 1996, Joy needed connection with the outside world during her recovery. raising 12 children. Yes, I said 12 young children at the time, not being able to drive for a year. Depression started to set in. She knew she had to do something. One day, she found a stray injured bunny and called an animal rehabber. She was ultimately licensed by the state of Texas and lovingly rehabbed both wild and domestic, abandoned, and injured animals. In earlier years, Joy and her husband, Rod, found their life's mission in adopting harder to place children. With three biological sons, they adopted 10 abandoned and abused babies and toddlers of various ethnic backgrounds. Joy is a Christian who understands what it means to depend on God through every circumstance.
Boy, oh boy.
What a household that is.
Boy, oh boy. Well, Michelle Hill, who's going to be with us tonight, is your legacy builder at Winning Proof. She's a book and publishing consultant serving sports and business professionals. Michelle's clients include pro athletes, sports agents, coaches, performance trainers, and business and leadership professionals. Michelle helps her clients navigate through the maze of writing and publishing so they can increase visibility, establish expert status, and create a strong legacy. She understands the importance of seizing winning opportunities during major life transitions. She's a Ramsey Antrel leadership junkie. And we're going to ask her what that means. And has gained a world-class business education from listening to their podcasts. Michelle has been a born-again Christian for over 40 years, and her relationship with Christ permeates everything in her life. Now, I got one other person to tell you about. We don't usually get to hear anything about our illustrators, but Giselle is such a pretty book, and Giselle is such a delightful character, and we love the illustrations. The illustrator is Kimberly Merritt, and she's been a pastor's wife for over 20 years. While serving beside her husband and homeschooling her 4 children, she has been blessed to have illustrated over, ready? 60 children's books for authors all over the world. Kim loves to paint, play guitar, and write about her walk with the Lord. You can read more about her at https://landofharvest.com/home/art. All righty, that's all we have in background information. We're going to take a break right here, and when we come back, guess who's going to be with us? Michelle Hill. We'll be.
Welcome.
Hey, Michelle, how are you, lady?
I am wonderful, and I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we are glad that you're here. Yay.
You come on, office up, and you've got something new and exciting. When Michelle was with us before, we were talking about, I think that was the first Giselle book that we did, Giselle Silly Soggy Day.
Yes.
Giselle has a new adventure, and this is her whimsical wintry day. Yes,
look at it. Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Fluffy and cute as she can be.
Is it a paperback?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It's beautiful. Well, I'm going to start asking a few questions, and then I'll send you to Andrea. All right.
Okay.
How is this book different from the first book?
Oh, it is very different because the first book was based on a real life event of the real Giselle, whose bio is also in the book.
Okay.
So even Giselle gets a bio. But this one is especially special,
Okay.
because how writers, we just love to string funny words together.
And we understand and we accept that.
Yes, absolutely. So this book, a little bit before we started doing the book, Joy's father passed away, and he is the inspiration for a lot of what's in the book, the illustrations, and you'll notice for those who buy it, there's a cardinal on every page, and some of the characters, and I have to show you one because he lived on a farm in Tennessee.
Okay.
And he had there's a character in the book called Peanut the Chihuahua, and he had a dog, Peanut the Chihuahua, and that was his best friend. And Peanut, I guess, would climb up into his lap and they were just best friends. So Peanut is part of this book. And then he had a pig, a real life pig called Big Pig.
Oh.
And so that big pig, it was on his farm. You'll also see in the book that there is a quilt on the barn. And in the illustrations, and he had a quilt on his barn, on the face of his barn. And I believe, and then Joy will correct me on this if she needs to, but I believe the day that he passed, a cardinal showed up at her, and just was a serious part of the whole process.
Wow.
And I'm missing out on a whole bunch of details.
Okay.
But I'm not going to butcher it. I'm just going to say a cardinal. So you'll see a cardinal.
So that's why the cardinal is there. Okay, gotcha.
I see. And we wouldn't have known. Thank you for sharing that.
Who was Mischief?
Mischief the cat. I'm sure that was part of his barn animals too. I don't know about Mischief the cat, but I'm sure that it was part of all the arsenal of barn animals and animals in general.
So did you two write the story together, or did she write parts of the story and you wrote part?
Joy is the brainchild of the story. She says, I have another story idea. And I say, okay, let's get on the phone and I'll take notes while you tell the story.
Okay.
And so she did. And we had notes and we laugh like wild hyenas. We have the best time. And then I write the story. I take all the pieces and then I write the story. And I never thought after Giselle's Silly Soggy Day, like, I can't do this again. I've already wrote a children's book and nothing else is going to come out. But it did. And I think this one's even better than the first one, personally.
Why?
Because the meaning of Joy's dad is incorporated in it. The story is really exciting. It's set in, the other one's kind of set in spring. This one's set in winter.
Yes.
I love hot chocolate. I am a hot chocolate aficionado, and the story has a lot to do with the hot chocolate.
That kind of hurt my feelings when what happened. I could smell it, it kind of tastes the peppermint and all that. And then when what happened, I won't tell what happened, but I was like, oh, man, I didn't even get to taste it.
Yeah.
Well, did you find this book easier to do than the first one, since you had already done the children's book?
Yes, this one was a lot easier. I took the template because last time I had been through the course Institute for Children's Literature years and years and years ago. I broke out that notebook and I'm like, how many pages? I had to pretty much research. I forgot all the stuff that I had studied years ago in the early 2000s. So this one was easier because I got to take the template of the first one. I already knew how many pages, words per page, and it came together a lot faster. Last time, Joy had to regularly remind me, and she did so ever so gently. She did remind me regularly, like, how's the book coming? How's the book coming? Right. And that would remind me. This time, I don't think she had to do that. Maybe once. I don't even know if she did it, but it just came out. It was
you were on this one. Yeah.
Well, how long did it take to get to publish
Yeah.
from concept to completion? How long did this one take?
We published around Thanksgiving or
Okay.
Black Friday, Thanksgiving. So I think we started, let's see, November. I think we started late spring.
Oh,
I
Oh,
think
great.
because the illustrations take the longest
okay.
to go back and forth. And I dubbed her creative director because she sees things and she says, oh, yeah, more of this color on here, more snow on the head. I just look at the picture and I'm just, yeah, it looks fine to me. So she's officially the creative director and I'm the organizational manager. we gave ourselves titles this time.
So you definitely used the same illustrator, right?
We did. We love Kimberly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the characters are beautiful. So, I'm going to say it. Get the book, everybody. It is a must for yourselves, your shelves. If you have little children, grandchildren, get Giselle is cute as can be. You need
Let
her.
me ask you this, Michelle. When you were talking about Kimberly, did you have to go back and forth a lot? Because I know sometimes I have heard, I've not worked with an illustrator for many, many, many years, but sometimes you think they get what it is that you want and you get it and it's kind of off. Was it mostly tweaking of things like you were mentioning, a little more snow or something like that? Or were there really some challenges of having to go back and redo?
That is a great question. And there were no challenges because she's so fabulous to work with. The
Awesome.
first time we got on a call and we had all our illustrations all laid out, this page, this illustration. This time she knew the characters that we wanted. And so it was very easy. And the only tweaks were, and this time since Joy doesn't do email, she sent them to her. They had a text thing going on, which was perfect because she could look at them and say, oh, yeah, a little more snow on the cow's head or whatever. And she would make the tweaks, but very few. Colors were great, everything. So she was so easy to work with.
And I think that's a great advantage too when you're doing a second book like that and you've got the same illustrator that she's probably just has a good feel of how you want to tell your story and what you want it to look like. And it's delightful. It is really, really delightful. And we have an author on tonight, Tiffany. Good evening, Tiffany. Glad to have you in the house. Where are you from, Tiffany? If you have a chance to put that in the comment section, we'd love to know. And you're going to read a little bit for us, Michelle. So you're in for a treat. I love when we can just relax on Sunday evening at 7.
Yes.
This is great. So I hope our listeners are happy. I'm really happy. So go ahead. Tell us what you're gonna share with us tonight, Michelle.
Okay, well, of course, the book is called Giselle's Whimsical Wintry Day. So it is winter, and she is trying to figure out how to keep her farm animal friends warm. So she makes she decides to make a pot of hot chocolate. So that's the setup. So I'll read a few pages and you just tell me, stop, and I'll stop. Surrounding the large pot of hot chocolate were colorful bowls of red and white striped peppermint candy and fluffy marshmallows. And I will show the pictures as I...
Okay, awesome.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my, Giselle exclaimed. The farm animals are going to love this. While Giselle mixed the hot chocolate in the big pot, she sang a silly song. I'm not a singer, so just bear with me. Hot chocolate, yummy, yummy, hot chocolate in your silly tummy. That I spared you, believe me. Okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
While Giselle was singing her silly song, suddenly a tree limb heavy with snow started to creak and groan and pop overhead. Let's show that. Oh, let me see.
There you go.
Okay.
Look at that.
See the tree limb?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. A moment later, it cracked and plunged straight onto the hot chocolate pot handle. Whoosh!
Oh,
Bang! Hot chocolate splashed up into the air like a giant ocean wave, and the peppermint candy and marshmallows flew up like firecrackers on the 4th of July. And
oh,
so-
Lord. That hurt my
hot
feelings. That hurt my
hot
feelings.
chocolate going everywhere, and you got the cardinal going, what is going on here? And then here's the center spread.
Oh
with
my
all the
goodness.
chocolate, the peppermint going everywhere. There's Chihuahua, Peanut the Chihuahua, Mischief the cat.
That's mischief. Yeah.
You can see the big pig in the background, and the
Mhm.
chickens are all kind of like the chocolates all over the place.
What's the cow's name? What's the cow's name?
The cat. We don't have a name for the cow.
Don't name the cow.
I'm gonna name the cow. Maybe next time.
Okay.
So, and I'll show this one after I read. The gooey treats rained down and stuck fast all over Giselle's furry head and body. The hot chocolate made big old splotchy dark spots all over Giselle's fleece as she tried to duck behind the table. But it was too late. When Giselle finally got back up, covered in chocolate and goo, the farm animals didn't recognize her. They didn't know who this creature was. Perhaps an animal from a nearby farm? And you can see that she is completely
Mess.
covered in goo and everything's everywhere.
A mess.
And Giselle says, "Hey, it's me," cried Giselle. But the animals backed away in fear. Downcast and dejected, Giselle walked away with giant wishy-washy tears welled up in her eyes. Why don't they know who I am? They were my friends before this happened.
Hmm.
The farm animals, thinking that Giselle was missing in all the confusion, marched out into the farmland in different directions to look for her. Mischief and Peanut led the charge. Come on, everyone, let's go find Giselle. So you can.
We're going to stop you right there. We're going to stop you right there, Michelle, because I don't want you to tell the end.
Okay. I'm glad.
But I will say this, each story definitely has a message.
Right.
And there's a message for this, just like there was for Giselle's Silly Soggy Day. And I think that's great. And what I want to ask you is, because this could, there are just a lot of lessons, that children can learn in a pleasant way.
Yes.
Some of them may be tough lessons, but they are palatable because the illustrations are so nice. And
Yes.
just reading it and listening to you read it, I have been asked to do story time once a month for a daycare.
Wow.
So Giselle will be on my list of things
Yes.
to read.
And you got two.
Because
Yes.
they're little ones, and I know that they're going to enjoy seeing the illustrations. But tell me, have you all thought already about the next life lesson for Giselle?
We have talked about it briefly. Like, Joy has an arsenal of stories, and we want to include her son Indy. She just recently, her and her husband lost their youngest son, Indy. He was 21 years old, barely 21 years old, and passed away very suddenly. And so we want to celebrate Indy in some way in the next story. Now, children's books are not for the faint-hearted financial wise. You have to, pay illustrations and publishers and formatters the same as any other book. And so we're waiting for provision for that and timing, because, we want to wait a year or so and see.
Right.
But we do want to celebrate Indy somehow in the next story. And but we don't know what the story is going to be, but I know that she has it in her brain right now.
Yeah, she probably does. Yeah, we're going to continue to keep her in prayer and keep
Definitely.
her family in prayer. I'll just kind of quickly share with the audience, we were talking before we came on the air about the issue, just very quickly, of loss and grieving, and how it's different for everybody.
Yes.
And we definitely want to be sensitive to that and truly understand what that looks like, because all of us have had to experience it on some level. And whether it's a sudden loss or whether it is as a result of somebody who has had a long-term illness, the pain does not diminish.
Right.
It is still very, very painful to deal with. So, you be sure to give Joy our best from Authors Up, and let her know that we are praying for her. And
Yes.
whenever Giselle is ready, we will be ready to have her back and have another story to write. For you to read that you've written. Where can you have another question, Victoria? I feel
No,
like
I'm done. I am done. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I wanted Michelle to tell us a little bit about this organization, and that I mentioned in her bio, Ramsey EntreLeadership, and I'm sure I'm not saying it right. Tell us what that's about.
Well, anybody that knows me knows that I listen to a lot of Dave Ramsey because of the financial advice, and listen to the podcast. And so I am an EntreLeadership junkie, and by that I mean they have a podcast, and it's all about small business, solopreneurs, small business, and it's all about running your business. And I started listening to that, and I have to listen to it every day.
Wow.
I want to listen to it every day. So I have just feel like I've gotten a world-class business education from listening the wisdom from these seasoned podcast guests that they have. And it's Ramsey. So you're talking big name guests.
Yep.
And it's just the wisdom that they share, the nuggets. And you know what? None of them started on top. They all have their origin stories. They all have their valleys and tough spots that they've come from. So that's what endears me to the show. And I even sent a copy to the EntreLeadership team at Ramsey, and I am looking forward. I'm hoping somebody got it somewhere and just acknowledges, because I put a tab on it. I sent it to them, and I just want to see it. Yes.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Can I add just one little thing?
Sure.
Yeah. One thing, and it doesn't have anything to do with EntreLeadership, but the thing that's significant with this whimsical wintry day is that it caters to kids that have gone through physical, appearance altering situations. So cancer survivor or cancer patients, burn victims,
Right.
just all the different appearance altering situations. And that's the whole message behind this, Giselle, is that just because my appearance changes doesn't mean that I'm any different on the inside. And that's the overall theme of this.
Now, was there a child that you all knew, or that was close to you, that had to go through that? What made you decide to take that topic on?
I think I don't recall that. It's probably on Joy's side. Maybe she knows, but I honestly don't. I'm not from personal experience.
Gotcha.
But but we want to put it in burn units. We want to put it in cancer children's hospitals. So just the message, and really it's for other kids to just accept, if you have a schoolmate or a friend or a neighbor who has gone through something and they are different on the outside, please don't reject them. Please just accept them for who they are.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. I didn't think about it that way, but I definitely see it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely see it, and I see where that can be just a really, really powerful tool for children to use, and for parents too. because sometimes we have difficulty explaining things like that to the younger ones.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So this is Giselle's going to help. She's going to help that process along. So I think that's really good. That's really good. I was laughing too a little bit when you were talking about the entree leadership. I was watching a movie last night, as a matter of fact, and the man described himself as being an entrepreneur. And
Yeah.
that's exactly how he. That's exactly how he pronounced.
Entree, huh?
I am
It's like entree.
an entrepreneur. so, so I might have to tune in to Dave and see what he's got going on with that.
Yes. Well, he combines entree, which being an entrepreneur, with being, a business person. So you're not just a business person, and you're not just an entrepreneur. It's entrepreneur.
Okay, all right.
They make it work.
They do. And he's great. Anything that he's teaching is going to be valuable. Anything that he's teaching is valuable. I've been through some of his financial classes, and he is the guru. He is definitely the guru. Well, I tell you what, tell us, because we're about to wrap up tonight. Tell us, number one, if there's anything in particular that you want to leave authors with, or anybody who's listening who has an interest in doing a children's book, because that's a different animal. Definitely a different animal. So what can you tell us to kind of get us started on the right foot, or keep us going in the right direction?
I think the most important part is don't try to cut corners. Don't try to get Aunt Bessie, and I'm sorry if anybody has an aunt named Bessie, Aunt Bessie to do the illustrations,
Okay.
or So just don't cut corners. Just use professionals all along the way. And with just because it's a children's book, you still have to get it edited. You still
Right.
have to get it proofread.
Right.
And it has to be, you still have to get it professionally formatted. It looks so beautiful because we did that. We spent the money
Yes.
to
Quality,
get all that
high
done.
quality. Yep.
Take the time and the financial resources and make it high quality, and stick with it till the end, and just be open to learning, because we learned a whole lot through the first process, even though this is what I do with adult books for my profession. I'm a book and publishing consultant, but I'm not, I don't really help people. I've never helped somebody with a children's book. And so now I could, for sure.
Right. Wonderful.
You have to be all in, and you just have to be open to learning. We learned a lot the first time. We learned some more this time. And in fact, I have to add this, we just got our bestseller, we're a bestseller now. Whoop, whoop.
And I was going to ask, how did the first book do, and how did the second book do?
Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. So we're a bestseller, and I can encourage everybody who buys a book, please leave a review on Amazon, a 5-star review, give a short review. That really helps our rankings. And we want people to enjoy it. We want people to buy one for themselves and buy one to give away.
All right.
That's awesome.
Right.
That is awesome, Michelle. Congratulations.
Yes.
That's good news. So we know people are buying it. So tell us where to get a copy.
Okay.
Well, the king of books, Amazon. You can go to Amazon and put Giselle's Whimsical Wintry Day. It'll pop right up. That's the main part. You can also get it on Ingram.
Okay.
Yeah. And so Ingram, you can buy it on there. You can, those are the two places to get it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That sounds good.
I did have one more question.
Yes.
Ruth had told us about that you do something called faith Driven Entrepreneurs. And would you tell us just a little bit about that before we go? And what is that?
Absolutely. I just attended an 8-week foundation group, and we watch a video. It's just an hour a week for 8 weeks. So we watch a video on how to lead your business in a godly way, how to handle your small business, your whatever you have, solopreneur, entrepreneur, all that in a godly way. And so I loved it so much that I signed up to be a facilitator. So I'll be facilitating a group in where I live in Smithfield, and it's an 8 week. Again, it's the same format no matter where you meet, and it's just an hour of your time, but it's time well spent.
Mm-hmm.
Is it face to face or Zoom or what?
Pardon me?
Is it face to face or Zoom, or do you physically meet somewhere or?
Yeah, we're going to physically meet. I think they do have some Zoom meetings, and you can go on faith-driven-entrepreneur. I think it's .com. I don't think it's .org.
Okay.
One of those two, you'll find it, and you can find a group, and they're all over the country, and they really call it a movement. But I got so much out of it, and these videos with real life business people going through stuff and not going through stuff, yet prospering and thriving because God is at the center of their business. That's what attracted me.
Now,
Thank you for asking.
When is your 8 weeks beginning? When do you start?
We start January 20th, and we're going to meet at Smithfield Public Library. Okay. And it's at 11 o'clock starting January 20th for 8 weeks. Awesome. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend an hour and we pray when we start, we watch the video, we discuss the video, and we pray ourselves out, and then we're gone.
Oh, that's nice.
And you need to be in Raleigh.
No, Durham, somewhere in between.
Well, I drove to Cary for 8 weeks for 45 minutes to go to the one I went to.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
So it was quite a sacrifice of time, and like, oh my gosh, do I want to drive? But you know what? I loved it. It was time well spent.
Wow, it sounds wonderful.
Thank you for asking about that.
Yes. That's great.
I'm glad you asked about that too. We're gonna have to talk about that.
Okay.
That sounds really interesting to me.
It really does.
Interesting to me.
It's wonderful, and they have further groups as well, so you can get into a core group. There's other ways to keep plugged. They have a weekly prayer time that's international. Can you imagine just a half hour or an hour, whatever they do, of prayer time of people all over the world gathering on Zoom?
That's nice.
That is amazing.
So it's called Faith-Driven Entrepreneurs. We could just look that up.
Yes, Faith-Driven Entrepreneurs.
Okay.
I have no idea how it originally got in my email box. I have no idea, but I'm so glad it did.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
We always say you never know what'll happen on Authors Up. And it's the truth. Because that sounds like a wonderful organization.
Right.
And Giselle hadn't shown up, we may never have known anything about it.
Right.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate that. I sure do. Well, that is about it for us tonight. It's about time for us to wrap up. We got 1 minute to go. And all I want to do is say thank you, thank you, thank you. Michelle, it's always a joy when we have you on the program. You have great information and you're sharing. And I'm so glad you got to read a little bit about Giselle tonight. You didn't read the last time. So I'm real happy that we got you to read a little bit tonight. And thank you for all of the nuggets and information that you brought to us. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
I appreciate too, and I appreciate you ladies being gracious and kind, and I just have such a good time. You make it so easy, and I'm honored to just be in your presence, and just that you're just so gracious. And I've got to meet both of you in person.
That's right. We're going to do that again. We're going to have that event again in October, so be on the lookout for it.
Yes.
So we'll be
I
sending
will.
some information about that. And
Really nice.
Good. And I have to tell everybody, all to use a Southern word, all of y'all, these ladies are as beautiful in person and as gracious in person as they are on camera. And I say that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Queen Victoria, you have any closing comments?
Yeah, I'm just thankful that you guys collaborated on such a wonderful character, because I was sitting here listening to you speak, and I just wrote down the word joy. The books just bring joy, and we've just been smiling and giggling over a children's book, but that is joy, and I'm just so grateful for that, and I wanted to acknowledge that. And I also want to again say happy birthday to my girl. Mwah, mwah. I hope you have a beautiful day tomorrow. I really do. You all send her some happy birthday wishes and love on her. Love her. I couldn't do this without her. So,
absolutely. We got to stick together on this thing.
And remember, if you have any questions or comments, send us an email at authorsup@gmail.com and plug in to us on social media. We're on YouTube, Instagram, The Authors Up Show. And just come on and follow us. Because again, you'll never know what's going to happen until you plug in and follow us.
That's right. That's right. And thank all of you for joining us. And I know there's some others that join, and there are people who come back and listen to the replay, which we replay. This show will be replayed on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. But we are live every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Got a lot of good stuff coming up. Got journaling challenge coming up. So we hope that you will stay tuned to us on Sunday night and see what's happening up in Queen Victoria's world and in her kingdom. I'm going to start calling this your kingdom. See what's happening in her kingdom. But Tiffany, thank you for joining us. I think this may be the first time that you've been with us. And if so, we celebrate you this evening and thank you for being, you are now officially a part of the Authors Up family. You can't just stop out once and think you're done with us. No, we got you now. So come back and join us again. Like I said, we're here every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. And thank you all for being here. Thank you so much, Michelle, for always being such a great guest. We love you. We love you.
We love you back.
And Ruth, we miss you, girl. You got to back here on Sunday. So we hope that you are doing well, and you guys can always pray for Miss Ruth.
That's right. That's right. You tell Ruth I didn't mess up the birthday this year.
That's right.
No bubbles.
She'll be happy to know that. So that's it for us tonight, everybody. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you right back here on next Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for another
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Authors Up. Good night, everybody. God bless.